Well, hi there. Thanks for joining. I have no idea when you're listening to this particular podcast, but I'm recording it at the end of summer 2020, the year of our Lord, of COVID-19, of civil unrest, of unprecedented economic hardship. If you're dealing with any of those three, if your family members have gotten sick and something has happened to them, if the social unrest and social justice is knocking on your door, which it is on all of us, really be kind to yourself. The economic hardships, you know, anything I can do to help you deal with the realities is what I'm trying to do with my podcast, with my writings, with my coaching. So it's really hard to work on regular content while I'm watching all this stuff go on. So just know, while I'm going to switch gears in a moment, I love you and sending you all the strength in the world uh, to deal with whatever it is real time in your life. So switching gears, what I've done with this time, besides as serve as best I can and help the people that I can deal with what was going on in the world, is started writing. I started writing Mastering Midlife, the book. And it was suggested to me that it's been 5 years since Only Tens, Using Distractions to Get the Right Things Done, the book that I wrote 5 years ago, that I've been working with for all this time. I've been coaching on it. I've been teaching it. I've been doing workshops. I've made worksheets. I've made videos on the subject, and I've grown with the subject. So it was suggested that before I tackle Mastering Midlife, that I rewrite Only Tens. So Only Tens 2.0 comes out September 15th, 2020. Spent my summer sitting on my floor, writing, adding the worksheets, adding the anecdotes from my clients and my real world examples, so that hopefully this book is much more robust. We're changing the name from Only Tens to Only Tens, Confront Your To-Do List, Transform Your Life. And while they were working on the cover, the designers took out a quote from me to put on the cover that really I felt was kind of in your face, but it's also really, really true. And the quote that they pulled out from Only Tens is, "We don't have a time management problem. We have an honesty problem." I didn't have a time management problem. I had an honesty problem. I put things on my to-do list. I was doing things during the day that weren't mine to do, or that I did not have the courage to tell the truth about, that I wanted to do it or didn't want to do it, that I needed to renegotiate how it was done, when it was done, and I didn't have the conversations that I needed to have in order for my to-do list to be authentically mine, the things that I want to do. So what I did was I walked around being a victim of circumstance, a victim of other people's agendas, a victim of my own inability to articulate and talk. So we're actually going to change it to even be more provocative to you don't have a time management problem. You have an honesty problem. That's really uncomfortable for me, but it's true. It's just true. If we were more honest with the people around us, with the people that work for us, with the people we work for, with our family members, and we actually set boundaries, asked for what we want, created agreements, we would have so much more authentic relationships. My relationships are so authentic now because I've spent so many years actually creating agreements with people. If I didn't want to do something, I actually said it. And it isn't easy. It really hurts to tell the truth to people, to bring things up and say, you know, I can't do this, or I don't want to do this. It's embarrassing to say I'm overloaded and I can't help you with that project. I don't want to seem like I can't handle everything, and I can handle everything. So being honest with all the things on my to-do list. Do I want to do it? Don't I want to do it? Do I have the time to do it? Am I going to be resentful because I'm doing it? You know, I don't want anybody doing anything for me with a resentment. I would much rather them come to me and tell me, I don't want to do this, or I can't do this, I don't have time to do this, or can I do this next week or next month? I just had one of my clients who came up with a whole new idea for his company. Said when his marketing person asked him to get that done in the next week so she can put it out, and it was his idea, he said, no, I can't. I need to do that in November because I have these other projects. And it was a real triumph because he created it. He brought up the idea. So he had people running with it and he had to pull it back. So we don't have a time management problem. We have an honesty problem. I believe that God doesn't give us more than we can handle. I don't, but I believe that we take on more than we can handle. We say yes to everything. So I'm going to leave you with the one last thing that's really helpful in this situation. When somebody asks you to do something, when someone puts something on your plate, you don't have to say no right away. Just say, may I get back to you? This is probably the best thing I ever taught. May I get back to you? And then you have a time to pause, and you have the time to think, and you have the time to decide whether or not you want to do it or don't want to do it. You have the opportunity to decide whether it's worth confronting the relationship and having all those feelings. But never, ever, ever again fall into the trap that you think you have a time management problem. You have a willingness problem. You have a willingness to be honest problem, and a willingness to have the conversations and set the boundaries and ask for the help that you need problem. So look for the book in a couple of weeks, September 15th, 2020. And if you're listening to this after September 15th, 2020, Only Tens 2.0 can be found on Amazon. Thank you for listening. Again, back to what I started with is I know what we're all dealing with and what we're probably going to be dealing with into the near future. So sending you tons of love, tons of strength. And again, I love you, and have a great rest of the day.